And Summer del Piso back once again. So what we're doing is we already went in the first part of the video, the first part of this whole thing, this whole Bible study of Proverbs 23 analysis. We already went over the first part. So what we're going to do in this part is that we're going to go over the second part where King Solomon starts to talk about the dangers. Now he talks about the metaphysical penalties for being promiscuous, for lack of a much more detailed explanation, which I'm going to get into as I read the rest of this verse. So like, comment, subscribe. You already know, share the video with some peers, and we're going to get right into it. Let's do it. So we're going to begin. This guy says, we're going to start from Proverbs 23:26. So verse 26, sorry. So he says, my son, give me thine heart and let thine eyes observe my ways. He's telling us, let's hone in, lock in now, pay attention. I'm about to tell you some very, very interesting stuff. And please look at, observe what I've done. Observe how I'm observing this situation. He says, for a whore is a deep ditch and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Do you hear the words? What I love about literature, right? Any form of literature, whether it be, you know, the Bronte sisters, we talk about J.R.R. Tolkien, Bret Easton Ellis, these, and even the writers of the Bible, these guys use the most perfect words, right, to describe situations and just the intensity and the immense nature of what you're dealing with. A whore is a deep ditch. Do you understand that? He's saying when you fall into a situation with a whore, with a strange woman, which are both of which are synonymous terms, mind you, it's almost as if you're falling into a deep ditch, a narrow pit, where escape is very, very unlikely because of the nature of the metaphysical nature of these women that you are messing with. They are alluring. They ensnare the soul of men. This is what's going on right now in this culture of we have OnlyFans. We have a lot of men lusting for women on Instagram that have like these biographies, links that lead to paying them for nothing, right? Just for them being pretty. This is because we have a lot of men that have fallen, that have went in droves, in legions, following the religion of the strange woman and the whore, both of which are very, very deep crevices from which escape is unlikely. Let's continue. By the way, King Solomon already went through all of this. This is nothing new. It wasn't called OnlyFans back then, but trust me, the whole idolization of women, idolatry of women was a thing. Let's continue. Listen, we're about to get deep. She also lieth in wait as for prey and increaseth the transgressors among men. Guys, man, I'm telling you, if you want instruction on how to live your life, stop listening to individuals that like have money, that have worldly success, or they have all these girls, or they have all these things that are attractive to the person living of the world. Read the Bible. Let's hear what King Solomon said. Again, we're going to read that again. She also lieth in wait as for a prey. She preys on individuals of faith. She preys on individuals that are on semen retention to take their precious life force and increase the transgressors among men. Sexual sin is not the penultimate sin. The reason why it's dangerous, and it was warned about in the New Testament as well by Jesus, by Paul, because it is a catalyst to the other sins and the other horrors of this physical reality. When you commit sexual sin, you are opening the door to doing other things to perpetuate that feeling, to continue sinning sexually. This is what King Solomon told us early. Leave the strange woman alone. Walk away. Semen retention. The thing is now, I'm going to reference a movie. There's this horror film, Hellraiser. And in Hellraiser, in the beginning of, I think it's like the movie that came out before the one that came out in 2022. Pinhead, the very powerful Xenobite, he talks to us saying, listen, everyone is committing sins electronically and digitally now, right? Because of adult content that's on the internet that's being viewed through videos. We don't need to necessarily visit the strange woman's house nowadays, even though that's in abundance. All we need to do is view pornographic material, and we have already messed with the whore. We have already messed with the strange woman, and we're falling deep into that ditch where there's undeniably no escape. These people lie in wait for your essence. For your essence. You must stay vigilant. Let's continue, because there's more. Who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babbling? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? This already proves that semen retention is alluded to in the Bible. What he was saying right here in verse 29, he's talking about the negatives that occurs when you are not on semen retention and you mess with a strange woman. You will have woe, problems with people, right? Because the metaphysical structures in your body are not sound, they're not concrete. Who hath sorrow? Sorrow is sadness, malaise, despair. That's all part of the very, very long list of symptoms when you are not on the practice of semen retention and you are messing with the strange woman. Who hath contention? Contention is discord. Contention is violence and fight and conflict. All symptoms. Who hath babbling? You want to talk because you want to try to fit in with the people around you because you don't feel confident in yourself on the practice of semen retention, because you are not on it, because you are messing with the strange woman, the woman that whose divine Lord is the world, is the person, the being that presideth over all in the world, the demiurge. Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes, which is just redness of eyes. Sorry, not the bags of eyes, but you get bags under your eyes too. It shows more when you're off of semen retention, when you are messing with a strange woman. Let's continue. King Solomon's already telling us, they that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. The wine here is not literal wine. Of course, he warned us in the beginning of the chapter to stay away from alcohol, right? Or people that drink alcohol, because they tend to commit sin under that influence. When he talks about wine, because wine is nice, wine feels good, but wine makes you loose, right? He talks about that strange woman. He's comparing the feeling of drinking wine and the intoxication of having drunk wine to the embrace of the strange woman. This is just all very, very powerful information. Let's continue, guys. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red. Look when it giveth color, his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. He's again comparing the woman, the strange woman, the guiles and the allure and the seductive nature of the strange woman, right? Look not, he's comparing it to wine. Look not upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. At the last it biteth like a serpent, and it stingeth like an adder. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. Guys, this is all very, very powerful, intense information that King Solomon is giving us. The reason why he's able to describe it like this, because he went through it. He went through all of the sequences of sexual sin. You touch and allow yourself to be swayed by the strange woman. The wine, that the feelings of fornicating with a strange woman, it's like wine. It's red, it moves all right, but at the last, when you consume it, it biteth like a serpent, and it stingeth like an adder. Thine eyes shall behold strange women. You are now, because it's the metaphysics now, guys, it's energy. When you are mixing and that's why it's warned against, adultery is warned against in the Bible, because when you are mixing with many, many women, you're mixing energies. And you are now of taking on. I said this in my earlier videos of semen retention, the penalty of fornication. When you are sleeping with women, right, strange women, you are taking on their energies, you are taking on their experiences, and you're taking on their karma. You're taking on their karmic debt. And you are now finding strange women attractive, women that are promiscuous, women that are not interested in self-development and growth, in creating familial structures, right? What's the word? Filial duties. They're not interested in that. And your heart shall utter perverse things. Remember, everything comes from the heart. You are now angry at your fellow man. You are now jealous of your fellow man. You are now envious of the things of the people in the world. You are farther and farther away from the things of the divine, the things of ascension, the things that are developed when staying on semen retention. Yeah, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me, shalt thou say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I have felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. Do you understand what King Solomon is saying there? He's now on the last two verses, because that's the end of Proverbs 23. In the last two verses, he now talks about the alternative. When you have hearkened to his advice and you have heeded his warning, right? When you are on the practice of semen retention and you have avoided the whore, the strange woman, you are now, you feel as if you're in the middle of an ocean, complete serenity. And let's make a reference to the New Testament, because Jesus was, well, remember we had the whole idea, we know Jesus could turn water into wine and he can walk on water. These are all allegories. Jesus can't literally, if there was a man, Jesus, right? He can't literally turn water into wine. He is talking about the allegorical, alchemical transmutation of the things of the world to something of the higher realms. That's the water to wine. And walking on water is the control of the waters of the tumultuous seas of the mind, which is subject to the things of the world. He said that that was brought up again in the New Testament. But here, King Solomon tells us, you will be as someone that's in the middle of an ocean. They struck me, but I felt nothing. They spoke about me, but I heard nothing. They tried to destroy me, to lambaste me, but I cared not. When I shall awake and become more powerful, I will seek that journey yet again. I will seek to ascend yet again. This is what King Solomon is talking about. He is only telling us about his experiences and trying to guide us into a better journey, into a better life for us all, because he has made the mistake. He doesn't want to see us make that mistake. Proverbs 23 is an incredibly powerful chapter, because not only in the beginning it talks about us, how we need to deal with people of the world that have riches that are alluring, not to the spirit, but to the flesh, right? It then makes a transition into dealing with more spin-offs and more spawns of the world, the strange woman, the whore, the ones that lead you into that chasm, that deep subterraneous hole, crevice, that escape is seldom taken. Escape is seldom achieved. We must heed the words of King Solomon. We must heed the words of the prophets of the Bible, of the Bhagavad Gita. We must heed the words of Arjuna. We must heed these words in order to ascend in this silly world and cast away the temptations and cast away the ideas and the feelings of envy. Guard your heart. Allow your spirit to be drawn to only the things of ascension. For the men, semen retention is the only way to avoid the things of this world. Walk through the world, but you are not affected of it when you're on semen retention. And with that being said, that's all I have to say about this chapter today. If you like that content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. I say stay radiant always. Don't ever let this place get you down, because it is just a construct meant to test our souls, meant to destroy the evil in our souls in order to ascend and become more powerful individuals. And like I said in the beginning, stay radiant. I shall see you guys in the next one.